In this video, I'm going to give you the ultimate checklist of what needs to happen before you sleep with a guy. This is going to help you build a healthy relationship and start off with your best chance of success. So stay tuned because I'm getting started in just a moment. Hi, I'm Jason Silver, the dating coach for ambitious women. This channel is dedicated to teaching ambitious, mastery-driven women how to attract quality men for a lifelong committed relationship. And if you haven't done so already, hit that red subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so you get notified of all of my upcoming trainings. Now let's jump right into it. Here are 5 things you need to know before you sleep with a guy. Number 1, what he's looking for in a relationship. This is important for you to have an explicit conversation and know what he wants. Does he just want to hook up? Does he want to just date? Or is he looking for a committed relationship? Now, it's very easy to let these conversations slide because you don't want to appear desperate or overbearing in the beginning. But it doesn't make sense to ignore this important question. You're not asking with desperation. You're being respectful because you respect his time and you don't want to waste it. You don't want to get involved if it's not aligned with your goals. That's why an explicit conversation about what you both want is important to have in the beginning. If you both don't know where you're going, then how are you going to get there? And once you talk about this, you'll see whether sleeping together is going to move you both towards your goals. Is it helping you to get aligned or not? Now, I suggest having this conversation even before you meet and go out on a date. Get on a call or a video chat and ask him what he wants out of dating or what his ultimate goal is so you both know if you're aligned or not. Now, can he lie? Absolutely. You shouldn't trust what he says wholeheartedly. But when you have the discussion, it helps guide you and you can see, does this guy's actions align with what he says he wants? Because if they don't align, you're going to know early on because you already had the discussion. Number 2, you should know that he cares about your safety because it is a wacky world out there, and quite frankly, guys can be creepy and guys will lie. But a good man will want you to feel safe and he should be working to build trust with you. That means if you're communicating online, you should know that he's a real person and he should want to share information with you so you feel safe. And if he's not revealing personal details about who he is or where he lives or what he does or who he surrounds himself with, if he's afraid to introduce you to people he knows, that's a red flag because a good man should also be safe for himself and want to get to know you before he meets up. There needs to be a process where you're both vetting each other to make sure that you're safe. And if you feel like he's pushing you or he's not seeking to build that comfort, it's a big red flag and it's a sign that you can just walk right away. Number 3, you should know that his values are aligned with yours. This is important. So often we meet someone and you could be dating him for months before you start really seeing that, oh my gosh, our values don't align and you've just wasted all of this time and energy and investment. So if you're looking for a deep, meaningful, long-lasting relationship, then your core values are something that are important to know. Does he value money and growth and adventure more than he values kindness and loyalty and honesty? Now, what we value is not just what we say we value. So be careful not to listen to his words. The best indicator of what we value is what we spend our time on. So watch him carefully. What is he really doing? What does he spend his time on? We only show our values by our actions. So the more that you can spend time with him, the more that you can actually learn what his real values are, how he reacts to the world around him, how he makes decisions, how he displays his attitudes. Ultimately, behavior is the best indicator. So again, I encourage you, spend that time necessary to discover someone's values before you move forward and sleep with him. Number 4, he understands your expectations. It's so easy to leave these things unsaid and unspoken. Most of the time, we're just afraid to screw things up or scare someone away. We've got fear that we might be judged, we might say the wrong thing, when in reality, being explicit about what you want, about who you are, and ultimately what you expect out of a relationship is the direct pathway to true intimacy. I don't care if you say, oh, I don't have expectations, I'm just taking one day at a time. Everyone has an expectation. And if you're not aware of those expectations, that's a problem. So think about it. What's most important to you? How about during an intimate experience? What's most important to you? Have you discussed it? Do you know how they want to be treated, how you want to be treated before, during, and after the act? The more explicit you can get, the more that you're setting yourself in the relationship up for success. Don't you want to be with a guy that you can feel comfortable having these intimate conversations with? If you can be comfortable naked in a bed with someone, why can't you feel comfortable verbally talking with them about what's going to happen? He wants to know what you expect, I can tell you that, so that way he can fulfill that. And he wants to be able to be honest with you about his needs. That's true intimacy. Having these discussions prevents problems from happening. It sets you up for success rather than just taking impulsive actions and not thinking it through. Which leads me to number 5. You should understand what you really want and what you really need from the experience. Think about it intimately, not just before and during, but also after. Now, this is different from your expectation. Think about what your outcome is that you want from the whole experience. What are you getting out of it more than just physical pleasure? What are your hopes to build after this experience? Are you hoping that this leads to more commitment or more investment from him? Ultimately, what you want to get out of the experience is going to help you to make better decisions on who you're sleeping with, when you're sleeping with them, and why you're sleeping with them. And if you do check off these 5 things, if you really understand them before you sleep with someone, you're setting yourself up for so much more success than 99% of people do, because most of the time, sex just happens. Just a bunch of implicit communication back and forth when all of a sudden it just happens. So have these conversations, set yourself up for a long-term healthy relationship where you can openly discuss these challenges and move through them as a healthy couple. But I know attracting a quality guy is challenging. In fact, even meeting a high-quality guy can feel impossible. But I've discovered that there is one specific dating strategy that's being used by the most desirable women in the world to attract the perfect man for them. And I've noticed that the women who follow this dating strategy tend to have a much easier time getting to know, meeting, and connecting with a great guy. I made a whole free training video about it, which you can view by just clicking the link in the description. You'll also get to hear about my new flagship coaching program. There's not a program in the world that's quite like this, where you get to work personally with me, and I'll walk you step by step and help you transform your love life. So if you're finally ready to find love, if you want to work with me personally, check that out, click the link below this video, and I'll see you over there. Be well.